Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another edition of the post fight on the mandatory. Remember, if you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, follow us on our social media channels. We're at the mandatory TKO. You can also follow us on our personal social media channels. And if you're watching this, you can obviously see it on the screen.
Need to do it.
Yes.
We have to
Okay.
do it.
So, listen, Floyd Schofield had one of the best performances tonight. It happened in the first round. And Tevin Farmer, he hit Tevin Farmer clean. Clean. And after that, Tevin was not able to recover. Bryan, go ahead.
Here we go. This is literally in round one of the fight. And this is the first time we saw Kid Austin in a minute. And by the way, he was a favorite very narrowly. It was like minus 190. So we're going to play this on mute because of legal reasons. So here we go. Boom.
We've seen Tevin be winded before. We've seen Tevin take some big hits because he does usually take some big shots. But no one's made Tevin ever look like this before. And it's to the point, Bryan, where it's like, I don't ever want to see Tevin Farmer go out like that again. And I think there needs to be a discussion because Tevin's been in some wars now at this point. Should Tevin retire at this point?
Yes. This is 4 straight losses. And even though a couple of them were debatable, as we mentioned, the Zapata one, the Murataya one was very close. And he should have got more respect and had a weird point deduction at the end of that. But look, he was competitive in all those fights. And in this one, he just got caught. Shakur Stevenson, before the fight, said, Lil dude gonna come out fast and strong. Tev got to be a little patient and get to that body. Those things did not happen. In terms of Tev, well, actually, those things did happen because literally he came out fast and Tev was patient and, well, made the mistake. Also, apparently this was tweeted. Ring posted this, but like I didn't see it because maybe Shakur deleted it. Any fighter dangerous in that first round, Shakur Stevenson said, especially these little kids. Don't get too hype off of Tev being irresponsible. What do y'all think of this?
And he deleted it after.
Apparently.
You know why he deleted it? Because here's the thing. I think in the fight with Shakur Stevenson and Floyd Schofield, if it does happen, if Kid Austin does fight Shakur, I think Shakur wins that fight. And I think about the experience and how Shakur fights. But I think after Shakur saw that knockout, saw that power, you would think that Shakur would kind of be avoiding to get hit by Floyd. Like I don't think he'd want to get hit by Kid Austin. That power looked different. We've never seen Tevin Farmer. That happened to Tevin Farmer before.
Yeah, although and this is where I might slightly zag a little bit. First of all, I'm gonna put I just want the truth comment up there. He says Manny Pacquiao versus Tevin next. That's a great joke. And Foxy also says Tevin should have took his time with the count. Both times he was up super quick. He had an underrated career. No shame in retiring now. I agree. At one point, the most active world champion in the sport, where he was fighting like every other month or whatever it was. So Kid Austin, he got the first round knockout. Credit to him. I don't want to overreact because this happens sometimes where you catch somebody in the first round and then all of a sudden people, like everyone was shitting on him for pulling out of the Shakur fight yesterday. And now because of the first round knockout, everyone's like, oh, Shakur don't want to see him.
That's boxing though. The fans are fickle, yo. Like, we're fickle.
And Shakur, I mean, with Schofield, if he doesn't catch Tevin Farmer, I do wonder what that fight looks like. Is he going to just catch somebody every time? He hasn't been that way to that point. So I kind of am in wait and see mode in terms of like, all right, how real was this? Because in boxing, you get freak outcomes. And I think if you do this fight 10 times, this outcome doesn't happen that often. And I don't want to overreact to a first round knockout because it's a first round knockout. Like, it wasn't like he dominated him for 12 rounds or for 8 rounds and then closed the show. It's like he caught him early and he finished him. I don't know if that means he's going to do that against Shakur Stevenson because Shakur Stevenson is a younger, faster, better counterpunching version of Tevin Farmer, like the supercharged version of Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer, even at his best, was not what Shakur Stevenson is now.
And Tevin gets hit a lot. Shakur doesn't.
Tevin used to never get hit, really.
Yeah, that's true. Peak. But as of late, he gets
hit more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And here's the thing: I don't think like Shakur's IQ is so high I don't think Shakur puts himself in that type of situation, but that's why I think a fight with him and Schofield, I think Shakur wouldn't be as active, but I would like him to throw a little bit more in that fight. Here's a question, Brian. Like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but Shakur and Zepeda hasn't happened yet. But if Zepeda were to lose, would you want to see Schofield and Zepeda?
Schofield and Zepeda. Okay, I thought you were gonna go Schofield and Shakur.
No, because I think if Schofield then beats Zepeda, then he should get a shot at Shakur. Like, I still think he's really young. And,
Now that you mention that,
because then we see him against William Zepeda, a guy that can put on a very entertaining performance, a guy that has a high work rate, a guy like that's an entertaining fight for me. That's a more entertaining fight for me than Floyd Schofield and Shakur Stevenson.
okay, let's pull up the rankings. We have in the lightweight division, Schofield, remember, he was ranked like 13th in the WBC and then fell off the map because of the situation with him pulling out. They moved him down to 30th, which we laughed about on this show. Um, Here at lightweight now, we have Schofield. This hasn't been updated, obviously, because the fight's just happened tonight, but IBF, number 8. WBA, is he in the top 15? Nope. Yeah, he's number 2. Okay. I thought he was number 2 in one of these. It's the WBA. WBC, he's not here, as just mentioned. And WBO, I mean, ultimately, who cares? Because that's the top ranked belt. They'll figure out, oh, yeah, Abdullah Mason, Sam Noakes. That's what we're expecting there.
Yeah.
Gabriel Flores is angling to be one of the guys if they're not ready. And y'all in the chat told us when that was brought up that y'all don't want to fucking see Gabriel Flores. So
I like
that.
Gabriel Flores. Okay, he didn't live up to the hype that like they had when he was becoming a pro.
Sure.
As an amateur, I thought he was really good, but I've always liked Gabriel Flores, and he's still fighting. He's still doing his thing.
To your
But
point,
obviously,
though.
yeah.
To your point, I don't know what this means for his standing with the WBC, but Tevin Farmer was number 8 here. And this is where he was ranked the highest because he fought for an interim title, an interim WBC title, against Zepeda. He's number 10 by the WBA, but Schofield is just going to stay here because Zepeda is the only guy ahead of him. So this is interesting. There's a couple different outcomes here. Shakur Stevenson, let's say he beats William Zepeda, which we're expecting. I don't want to just say it's absolutely going to happen. Like, I won't put my life on that, but I'd probably put a fair amount of money that would happen. But who the fuck knows? He can get caught like this, and then we're having a completely different conversation. But let's say Shakur Stevenson decisions his way to success against William Zepeda, and it's as wide-ranging as some of y'all think it's going to be, 10-2, something like that. If that does happen, he's obviously not going to have this number 1 spot anymore. So Kid Austin will move up to number 1. Are they going to actually dare mandate that Gervonta Davis, if he beats Lamont Roach in a rematch, because that's the other thing, has to fight Kid Austin next? I doubt it, but I mean, Tank versus Kid, like, he's positioned better by the WBA unless some boxing shit happens where the IBF just is like, you know what, fuck it,
Bruh,
and he leapfrogs a lot of people.
I don't even know if Schofield should want to fight Tank. Because here's the thing, right?
If I'm Tank, I want to fight Schofield, though.
Yeah, no, for sure, right? But I think that's a fight, and I'll call it right here. I think Tank could win by knockout in that fight because Schofield can get a little bit irresponsible. If Floyd Schofield is in a fight with Shakur Stevenson, or shall I say William Zepeda, him in a fight with William Zepeda, I think is more interesting, Brian. And if William Zepeda loses to Shakur Stevenson, I think there could be a chance where he could fight Floyd Schofield, right? Like, I think that's like, what would you rather see? Because it's like they're still building him up, even though he's ranked number 3 by the WBA. Like, Tank's gonna do what Tank wants to do.
2.
Oh, he's number 2?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, he's ranked number 2.
Your boy Andy Cruz is number 3, but
I love Andy Cruz.
He's gonna fight for it looks like he might fight Murataya at some point.
That's a good fight.
Maybe, or he fights the Shakur Zepeda winner. Like, Andy Cruz he's in the top 3 in all of these except the WBO, because
I'm very high on Andy Cruz. I'm very high on Andy Cruz. I think he's going to be a champ at some point.
Would you pick Kid Austin to beat Andy Cruz right now?
No, I'd pick Andy Cruz. I pick Andy Cruz. I think Andy Cruz is the better all around fighter, and
You
I
don't
think
think he
he would
gets caught the way Tevin Farmer does?
no.
Okay.
I think he has a high IQ. But hey, I'm very very high on Andy Cruz. Very high on Andy Cruz. I think he might be one of my favorites in this division. Would
Schofield,
you take Kid Austin over Andy Cruz?
no.
Okay, I just wanted to.
Schofield lost, not lost. Schofield was dropped in his fight before this in round 11. And I remember we were texting and we were like, oh, because he got caught like clean from what I remember. Um, Against a dude that he obviously he's still outpointed by a lot, but like
Mm,
he and this is why I wish the fight went to distance. Look, he got it done, but I wanted to see how he actually is against this level of competition because I think there's some noise in this. I don't think this means all of a sudden he's going to go against a, a Andy Cruz, for example, and he's going to knock him out in round one. I don't feel like I learned much about
no,
Floyd Schofield today. What I learned was that Tevin Farmer should probably be done.
he should
Salute
retire.
to one of the most fascinating careers in boxing to me because somebody who started off 7-3, 7-4, whatever it was, and then just turned it around, went on an insane winning streak before losing to Jojo Diaz, had a long multiple year layoff, came back and fought his way into, the title picture again in a new weight class. Like that dude, he was an opponent and an opponent mad times against good dudes, right? Like Jose Pedraza, for example, and then turned himself into a champion, an A side, one of the most active champions, was fighting highly ranked contenders by the IBF too. Was fighting on the zone, like featured prominently when Eddie Hearn was trying to take over America and he couldn't. And ultimately, like with Tevin Farmer, he's had a great career. He's had a great career, but I think that's it. But for Schofield, I'm like, the first round knockout was awesome, but I don't think that means he's going to knock out all these other dudes.
Mm.
Like he caught Tevin Farmer and finished him, which is what you're supposed to do. But I want to know more. Like, all right, how good actually like is he?
And that's why I'm saying, like, if Zepeda loses, and I'm saying if, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, if he loses to Shakur, I think a good test for him would be a guy like William Zepeda.
I agree. Yeah,
That's
I think
and
it's a
I,
great
I
point.
and I think it's a very entertaining fight. Before you put a very young Kid Austin against a Shakur Stevenson or a Tank Davis, right? Like that's why I would like to see how good he is. Has he gotten better? Because he just caught Tevin clean. That's what we saw tonight. He caught him straight up clean, and Tevin was not able to recover after that. That's kind of what I saw. So
Yeah,
great performance by Kid Austin, but it's like I need to see more. And for him wanting to take the fight with Shakur earlier, I think that was really bold of him. But I think Shakur is a little bit way too skilled. He's just a lot better in every aspect as a boxer.
and that's
So
fine. He's
yeah,
22.
that's the thing. He's young. His nickname is Kid Austin.
Like,
Okay,
but the thing is though, is we're seeing like he's very high in the rankings. So it's like, okay, like could he fight your boy next, Lucas Body?
what about him and Isaac Cruz
Is Isaac Cruz fighting for an interim title next? Did I see that
at
get
140
announced? I'm like,
pounds? Yeah.
how's like, it's the rematch against Fierro. I think that might not even be in this weight class, but
Yeah.
I thought he was moving back down. Let me actually look this up while you're talking. But oh, actually, yeah, interim world super lightweight title. What the
Interesting.
fuck? Whatever, man. Just stupid
It's
ass sport.
boxing, okay?
Just
People get title shots all the time, but they love a lot of people like Isaac Cruz in terms of fan bases, one of the most loyal fan bases in boxing. Like whether you like him or not, whether you like his style or not, like Pitbull Cruz has an entire nation of
you
fans.
know what that means though.
What?
If he wins that fight, he is the interim champion for the WBC at 140.
So who is he gonna fight then?
What if Subriel Matias beats Alberto Buello?
So then that's gonna be Puerto Rico versus Mexico. That's what that tells me.
Ooh.
That's a tough fight for Subriel, though. Like, I actually don't know
For
who I'm.
Subriel, I mean, yeah,
No,
because
Alberto Puello.
well, yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm
No,
not. No, no, that's what I'm
look.
saying. I'm talking about the
To be fair,
Puello
no,
and
you're right.
Matias fight
You're
because,
right.
like, I don't know who wins that fight, Brian.
No, you're right. You're right. But if Subriel beats Puello, to your point, tough matchup. If Subriel beats Puello, I think
I'm taking Subriel over Isaac Cruz, and I'll say it right here.
the problem is we're,
I didn't
we
like the
can't.
Liam Paro fight. I did not like the Liam Paro fight, and I felt like Subriel
You just
wasn't
won,
fighting
by the
like,
way.
yeah, like don't sleep on Liam Paro. But I'm just saying I didn't like the way that Subriel Matias fought in that fight,
Yeah.
and it was in Puerto Rico. Like maybe it was a lot of pressure, right? And
No,
then
I think it's a styles make fights thing.
yeah,
Also, whatever Liam Paro did, Isaac Cruz ain't gonna do that. They're just gonna stand
there's
in the
only
ring,
one
and it's
way,
like,
dude.
who's gonna fucking knock each? Who's gonna go first? And it's like Subriel got the reach and the length, and he's more powerful than Isaac Cruz. I don't
A
know,
lot
but
more. I think he's a lot more powerful than Isaac Cruz.
just to put a bow on maybe at 140, yes. Just to put a bow on this, um, what's next for Kid Austin? I just hope it's a contender that like he gets rounds against. I guess is where I'm at. Would Isaac Cruz dare? You know what I mean? I mean, not Isaac Cruz, but Andy Cruz dare?
Here's the thing, though. I think Kid Austin's gonna want a big fight because of
I
what
think
just
him and
happened.
Andy Cruz is a big fight.
No, that is a big fight, but I would take Andy Cruz in that fight. I don't know if Schofield wants an Andy Cruz. That's a tough fight for him.
Ooh,
Him and Lucas Body.
Yadier Herrera. Yes,
That's
that's
the
the
one you want.
one. That's the one I want. Because Yadier Herrera he's a nutcase.
Yo, what about Jose Valenzuela?
He's the one that moved back down to 135. Okay, my mistake. It was him. It wasn't Isaac Cruz. They fought each other. Haha. It was Valenzuela.
Yeah. So what
Even
about
though
what
Isaac Cruz is still here also.
what about Kid Austin and Jose Valenzuela? Because that would be a very interesting
Mm,
fight. I'd be interested in that fight.
I think he'll get rounds in that fight. In terms of like the fight will actually go rounds. I don't
Yeah.
know if he'll win like that many rounds. I don't know. Valenzuela's good. I thought
That's a very tough fight.
his performance against Gary Antoine Russell was a bummer, but to be honest with you, Gary Antoine Russell does have the higher ceiling, is a better athlete, bigger, stronger naturally. And
Yeah.
going into that fight, even though I did the interview with Jose Valenzuela, I was kind of like, man, this is gonna be a tough fight for him. And we saw why. And the loss that Gary Antoine Russell had against Alberto Puello was highly competitive. So that would be like these are the type of fights I'm talking about. Like Yadier Herrera is like another up and comer where it's like, okay, let's see who's better between him and Schofield. For the rankings, it kind of depends on where the WBC would have him, but Herrera's highly ranked by the WBC and the WBO. Kid Austin, not so much. We mentioned Lucas Body. I think that's an interesting opponent. Andy Cruz would obviously be great. That's one that I doubt. Um, Jose Valenzuela would be very interesting. I don't know if Valenzuela wants to run right into that one.
Foxy has one right here. Schofield come out to the UK and get humbled by Sam Noakes.
I mean,
Just
look,
being biased.
if Noakes
Interesting
beats
fight.
Abdullah Mason, then
Yeah.
who knows? Josh Padley, like if you're chasing Shakur Stevenson, if you want to do that, Josh Padley is someone that makes sense. To be honest with you, though, you better beat Josh Padley if that's your next fight.